All right, welcome back to another video. This one is going to be a Nissan Frontier. We're going to be doing the rear pads and rotors on this vehicle. This will be a step-by-step guide on how you can do this job here. First things first you need to do is you're going to have to remove the 21 millimeter lug nuts off of the wheel and put your wheel to the side. Next, what you're going to need is you're going to need a 19 millimeter socket for your caliper bolts, and then you're going to need a 14 millimeter for your caliper slider pins. Okay, you're going to remove both of these off, which will take the caliper off, which will give you access to remove this. Customer complaint is that there's grinding. Pads seem okay, but the rotors are very heavily pitted and they are very rusty and grooved up. Other side is a lot worse than this. So I've gone ahead, because the vehicle is a bit older, I've gone ahead and lubricated the hinge here, so it makes your life a lot easier when the time comes to remove the rotor off, because you know it's going to be stuck. Okay, this will be your rubber pin for you to adjust your parking brake, which will be located on the inside of this drum. Okay, so first things first, remove the 21, then you're going to remove the 14, and then you're going to remove the 19, and then you should have access to your complete rotor assembly right here. Okay, and that will be pulling it off. I will show you step by step on how to do it. Whether you're going to use a ratchet or you're going to use a wrench, doesn't matter. 14 millimeter. Take off the bolt. Take that off. Remove the caliper. Put it off to the side. Do not ever let a caliper hang. Then you're going to take your 19, put it on the back of the caliper, and then you're going to take that one off. This one might be a little stiff. So we're going to use the wrench. Sorry, the ratchet. Giant caliper bolt. Take the caliper bolt off. Do not lose the washer that's on there. Okay, set it off to the side and do the one on the bottom. You hear the roller bearing in there? That's making your howling sound. You could try just a differential gear oil change, but it actually might be the throwout bearing that's inside of this might have to be replaced, and that's done at a specialty gear shop. You can hear it grinding right there. 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 All right, so I've already gone ahead and I've removed the rotor off, just so you guys can see here. If you do need to adjust your parking brake shoes, there's a little piece here on this side as well as this side here. This is going to be the spring action that holds it together, but the actual spindle on this side is right here. And you would just take a flathead and go left to tighten, or sorry, to loosen, and go right to tighten. However, the e-brake shoe system on this one is okay. I don't need to do anything with it. The new rotor fits over there nice and snug. Make sure that your rubber bushing is sitting just here on the adjustment. Like that. We're now going to use the caliper, put the caliper bracket on. I've already gone ahead and taken the caliper slider pins off, and I've greased them up now, so that way they function properly. And then I'm going to put it back on using the 19 millimeter bolts. All right, so now we're going to put the caliper bolt back in. Make sure you do not forget to put your washer on your nut there. Remember, there's one up here and there's one down here. When you put the caliper in, you got to fight with your little backing plate here. It's okay to manipulate it and kind of get it to crack in there. So yeah, put these in. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna recoil the caliper back in. So this will be the piston that goes inside the caliper. Easy way to do it is before you take off the system, if you put a flathead in there and pull it forward, you can usually get that to work for you. I've already recoiled quite a bit of it back in, but I was gonna show you how to do it. I'm using a C clamp with another pad I had laying around. So you just So I've recoiled the caliper, the piston back inside the caliper, and now I'm putting the 14 millimeter bolts back into the caliper slider pins. At this point in time, what you should do is you should take off this little rubber nipple cap here, and then you're gonna pull it off and you're going to bleed the caliper just to make sure there's new fluid inside of there. I always do it. It's up to you whether you want to or not, but you're doing brakes, might as well make sure the fluid in there is still good. But that's basically how you would change pads and rotors on a Nissan Frontier. Thanks for watching, and that's pretty much how you do rear pads and rotors on a Nissan Frontier. And then don't forget to lubricate the back of the brake pad there to help with any squeaking or any issues with that. So that is basically how you do it. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to comment down below. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do the other side now, but you don't need to see me do two of them in a row. You've seen the process, just follow it. Thanks again for watching.